Hello YouTube, this is Shirley426 and today we have the review of the HG Brady Hound Brad exclusive version. Now despite the name, this is basically a retail kit, so don't worry about that. Number two, the main reason why it's called Brad exclusive is that in the main anime this was only used by Brad Watt, the guy who was in charge of capturing the AMIAM Ghost. This guy, you might have seen it if you've seen the anime. But based on the manual, all this description that you see on the back here, this basically explains that, kind of explains in a way where this is a commander variant of the Brady Hound. Alright, so in this review, I'm going to go over the articulation very quick because this is pretty much the almost identical kit as the regular Brady Hound, the brown, sand brown color going on here. And number two, I won't be able to show you guys any comparisons with the previous kits because for those who still don't know, I moved out from my parents' house and I could not bring everything with me. The main reason why I moved out is because my current job is just way too far from my house, so I moved into a place where it's kind of closer to my job. So once again, in order for me to do any comparisons, I really need to plan this out, and this one came out very on a unexpected, timing. So yeah, so this one I won't be able to show you guys the stork carrier or the comparisons with the Brady Hound. So which is why I'm going to go over articulation. Alright, so as usual, let's start the review. So as usual, let's see what you get. So first of all, what you get, of course, is obviously the main unit itself. Instead of the sand brown color, we get the a very blue color going on here. So I'm usually a big fan of the sand brown color, but this one is looking very cool as well. So equipment wise, instead of a combat knife, you get these long swords. You get two of these. So I believe the handle should be the handle is like exactly the same as the combat knife, but the length here is like 3 to 4 times longer than the combat knife that we got previously. So very cool, and the fact that you get two of these dual wielding will be very cool. Other than that, everything is the same. You still get the open style hands, 2 of them, so you get 7 of those, so nothing too different out there. And now we get you get 2 heads. One of them they are the same mold, but one of them has these closed eyes versions for stickers. The other one has the activation eyes, so that's the same thing. And then we still get the same rifle going on here. Once again, no specific name; it just mentions rifle. And then, as usual, we still get the 2 scope stickers on here. And here is the sticker sheet. So one of them should be black for inactive mode. The other one should have the middle green camera on for active mode. Here is the sticker for the scope. And here we have one more extra sticker, which I will go over later. Alright, so let's see what we got. Okay. As usual, let's start with the, sorry about that. As usual, let's start with the head. So the head faceplate itself is exactly the same. No changes. The main faceplate is on a ball joint, so you can slightly wiggle them around, and then you can go, not much of an up and down, but if you want to twist it, you can do that. But once again, mine is already a little bit twisted, so it may look a little bit awkward. So making this look straight forward may be a challenge, but still, once you have it, Okay, so one of the big changes here is on top of the head. We get this clear visor piece going on here, or clear plastic. You can take that off, and we have this extra sensor going on here. Now, I was trying to look over the instruction manual if there was any explanations regarding this, but there was nothing. So either this, because being a commander unit, it mentions that the commander units have more higher outputs. It's basically generally a better unit than the regular Brady Hound. So that could be the case, but this could be also the device that allowed Brad to, when he first went to fight the AMIAM Ghost for the first time, he had this ability to with this unit to control his other units remotely. So instead of the pilots taking over, he would actually control for them. So he would have a better, better chance against, the AMIAM Ghost. So that's what he did. So it could be that, but once again, that's just my guess. But that is one of the biggest difference regarding that as well. And we have that extra sticker going on there. Alright, other than that, other than the swords, the only other difference is the shoulder part. So the main shoulder here itself is exactly the same, but the outer part is the different part. So the original Brady Hound would have these wings popping out here. Not that there was a huge issue with that, but sometimes when I was moving or touching the kit, I would accidentally bump the wings, and sometimes they would not fall off, but they would become a little bit loose. So that was the part I didn't like. But this one, having these much simple looking shoulders, I have 0 issues with this. Alright, so let's get the articulations quick. So the shoulder articulation here. So when everything is pushed all the way in, there's not much movement here, but you can also extend. Oops, sorry about that. you can actually extend this part outwards, and then you get a little bit more range of motion here. So that's still the same as usual. Now you can't rotate this part, but you can rotate this area right over here. So you still get a 360 twist. Lower arm can go 360. Bend wise, we do get a little bit more than 90 degrees, but not all the way to the, not like a double joint style. So I think this is more of a design thing, but still, yeah. Not that it's really necessary. And then hand-wise, we still have your ball-jointed hands. But once again, I love these multi-purpose hands because number one, these can also work as fists, but also they have this knuckle mode here where, let me just take this off. So here is the regular fist mode. In order to use a weapon, you have to extend this like this to able to grab a weapon. And this also works as a knuckle at the same time, according to the manual. So this is a very cool hand if you ask me. Alright, so the thing that popped out here was the weapon storage unit. So weapon storage rack, if you ask me. So on around the armpit area, we have this weapon storage rack. So this is more for the blades. So the regular Brady Hound would have these common knives. This one has this very long sword. So it pretty much works the same. It can only go up and down. It doesn't go side to side because it's a square peg that's connected to here. So let me just take that off just to give you guys a better idea. So here we have a square peg. So yeah. Now for the main face, we already told you that this is connected to a main ball joint. If you don't like the cameras showing up, you can always use the other head as well. So the main body, we still, oops, sorry about that. So that plastic piece does pop out a little bit too easily, but not to the point where it will just fall off on its own. So the main body, despite how it looks like, it may look like it can go forward and backward, having an ab crunch, but no, but it does have a side-to-side movement. So yeah, so you can go forward and backward, but not as much as you think. So it may look like you can like pretty much move or rotate around, but yeah. So you do have the movement going on here, but it's a little bit stiff, so do be careful not to like break anything. And then side to side movement is pretty much fluent. Alright, so other than that, 360 twist should be possible. Nothing is blocking the way despite having the swords there. Now the back skirt, they do have, you are able to pull it out and move it like this, but this is only relevant to the mode when you're storing this onto the stork carrier, the green airplane, so that's that. And then the side skirts do also move. They are on ball joints, so nothing too special about that. And then the front skirts, once again, they were a little bit more wiggly on the Brady Hound. I think they kind of fixed that because it's a little bit more stiff or more stable, if you ask me. But still, yeah, you can actually rotate this around because this thing is on a peg for some reason. A single peg to be more specific. And then we still have the same leg articulation. We have a nice side swivel going on here. Forward is possible, not all the way 90 degrees. Backwards, if you move the front back skirt a little bit outwards, you can go backwards about 90 degrees. But once again, this is more relevant to the the storage mode for the stork carrier. So yeah. And then going to the side should be no problem as well for 90 degrees to the side. And then bend wise, we get a very nice bend, and we actually get these knee parts going on here. So I believe, yeah, these also are supposed to be like some sort of supports when in the storage mode, kind of, but still, you still have those gimmicks. And then feet are your ball jointed feet, and then we have these claws which can move. You can close them up into the inside the feet if you want to do so, but this, once again, this is more relevant to the storage unit. Alright, so we've seen the basics of the kit. So pretty much it's the exact same kit with some extra small changes and a different paint job with longer swords to become the commander unit. Once again, I'm very excited for the other variants to come out with the long rifle with the shield version, and then there's also another one with these claw weapons going on here. So very excited for that. Alright, so we've seen the basics of the kit. Pretty much, it's still a fun kit. I really like this. I think I really prefer this this version more because of the small changes. Alright, so we've seen that. So I'll be right back with the demonstration of the equipment, and we will end it off there. Okay, so here we have a small demonstration with the sword. So once again, you can dual wield these swords with no problem, and then the hands, the swords are not loose in any way that you can shake it, it's not going to pop out. So very cool, and the fact that you get two of these long swords, which is kind of uncommon, unlike beam sabers. So I really like this aspect going on here. So once again, the only thing that's, if I had to mention or be picky about is that there's no way to actually store the rifle. So the rifles are pretty cool as well. So they just pretty much, you can plug plug the rifle into the hand right away. You don't need to take off anything. So that's that. So you can pretty much do any combinations of weapons if you want to do so. And there are sometimes I get these questions when it comes to blades. Yes, you are able to actually hold the blades upside down like that. So if you're kind of curious, you can do that as well. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the review for the HG Brady Hound Brad exclusive version. And once again, as you guys saw, the purple piece does pop out a little bit too easily once you bump it on it, so do be careful. Not that it just you know, pops out on its own, but that just happened. But still, not that it'll just drop on its own. It's just that every time you know, if you're not careful, it could, you know, pop out. Anyway, that was pretty much it for the review. So once again, the base way I can explain this kit is that it's pretty much almost the identical kit as the Brady Hound, but with some changes. There's the color changes, there's the equipment changes, and the shoulder design changes. But other than that, it's exactly the same. And do be aware, in order to store this onto the stork carrier, you actually need to purchase the stork carrier and then the necessary parts to connect this to the stork carrier is also all included in the stork carrier. So do be aware of that aspect. Anyway, thanks for watching the review. This was the review of the HG Brady Hound Brad exclusive. If you guys got any questions or requests, you can comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews out, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.